Once upon a time, on a serene coastline, the gentle sun bathed the sandy shores in a warm glow, and the waves softly lapped against the rocks. On this beautiful beach lived a hermit crab named Shelley. Shelley was a lively little crab with a shell adorned with white patterns. She was full of curiosity and loved exploring every corner of the beach in search of interesting discoveries. To Shelley, the beach was a world brimming with endless possibilities, and every day was an adventure. Recently, however, Shelley had been feeling a bit restless. Her shell, which had been her cozy home for years, was now becoming too small for her growing body. Whenever she tried to stretch, the shell would press tightly against her, leaving her uncomfortable. Shelley realized she needed to find a bigger shell to continue her life comfortably. So, she decided to embark on a journey to find a new home. Early one morning, Shelley left the familiar crevice of rocks that had been her sanctuary. She made her way to a tidal pool by the beach. There, she met her old friend, Bubbles the crab, who was playing happily in the water. "Shelley, you look a little worried today. What's wrong?" Bubbles asked, noticing Shelley's anxious expression. Shelley sighed. "Bubbles, my shell is too small, and I need to find a new one. But I don't know where to start." "Don't worry," Bubbles said cheerfully. "I've heard there are plenty of beautiful and sturdy shells near the reef rocks further down the beach. You might find what you're looking for there." Hope sparkled in Shelley's eyes as she thanked Bubbles and set off toward the reef. However, the journey was far from easy. Shelley had to be careful to avoid the watchful eyes of seagulls and navigate around the giant footprints that dotted the sand, deep craters that could easily trap her tiny body. Despite the challenges, the thought of finding a perfect new home gave Shelley the courage to move forward. When she finally reached the reef, Shelley was awestruck. The pools between the rocks were teeming with life, and scattered throughout them were shells of all shapes and sizes. Some were smooth and white, others had intricate spiral patterns, and a few even shimmered with a pearly glow. Shelley eagerly began her search. She tried a shiny white shell, but it was too large, and she felt lost inside it. Then, she discovered a beautiful spiral shell, but it had a small crack that worried her. She tried one shell after another, but none seemed quite right. Just as Shelley was beginning to feel disheartened, a gentle voice spoke up. "Young one, what are you searching for?" Shelley turned to see an old sea snail resting on a rock. Its shell was covered in barnacles, and its eyes gleamed with wisdom. "I'm looking for a new shell, but I can't seem to find one that fits," Shelley explained. "Patience, dear," the sea snail said kindly. "The right shell will come to you when the time is right. Sometimes, you need to look beyond the obvious places. Perhaps you should explore deeper waters. The ocean holds many surprises." Encouraged by the sea snail's words, Shelley thanked her and ventured toward the deeper part of the sea. As the water grew deeper, the world around Shelley transformed into a mysterious and magical realm. She swam past vibrant coral reefs, schools of shimmering fish, and jellyfish that glowed like tiny lanterns. Finally, under a large rock, Shelley spotted a shell that seemed just right. It was sturdy, beautifully colored, and perfectly sized. Excitedly, Shelley crawled inside, and a sense of comfort washed over her. It was the perfect fit. With her new shell securely on her back, Shelley returned to the beach, her heart brimming with pride and joy. Her friends gathered around to admire her new home. "Shelley, your new shell is amazing," Bubbles exclaimed. Shelley smiled. "Thank you." I've learned that with patience and courage, you can overcome any challenge and find what you're looking for. From that day on, Shelley's new shell became her most treasured possession, and her story became a cherished legend among the creatures of the beach. Shelley's adventure taught everyone that perseverance and optimism could lead to great rewards, even in the face of uncertainty. As Shelley continued her life in her new shell, she found herself becoming a source of inspiration for others. Whenever a young crab or sea creature felt unsure or scared, Shelley was there to encourage them with her story. She would recount how she had braved the unknown, faced her fears, and discovered the importance of believing in oneself. One day, while Shelley was basking in the sun near her favorite tide pool, she noticed a tiny hermit crab struggling with an oversized shell. The little crab looked frustrated and on the verge of tears. "Hey there," Shelley called out gently. "What's wrong?" The young crab sniffled. "My shell is too big, but I don't have the courage to look for a new one. What if I can't find one, or worse, what if something bad happens to me while I'm searching?" Shelley moved closer and smiled warmly. "I know it's scary, but sometimes we have to face our fears to grow. I was once in your position, and I promise that the journey is worth it. You're braver than you think." Encouraged by Shelley's words, the young crab decided to take a chance. Shelley accompanied the little one for the first part of the journey, offering guidance and reassurance. Together, they discovered a shell that was perfect for the young crab, who couldn't stop thanking Shelley for her help. Over time, Shelley became a mentor to many sea creatures, teaching them the value of resilience and the beauty of embracing change. Her once small world expanded as she built connections with others, creating a vibrant community where everyone supported one another. Years later, as Shelley grew older, she often reflected on her journey. She realized that her adventure was about more than just finding a new shell. It was about discovering herself and her ability to overcome obstacles. The beach, with its golden sands and gentle waves, remained Shelley's home. But now, it was also a place where countless creatures came to hear her story and find the courage to embark on their own journeys. Shelley's legacy lived on, not just as the crab who found the perfect shell, but as the heart of a thriving community that celebrated bravery, kindness, and the endless wonders of the ocean. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.